Before we go any further, make sure you subscribe to this channel and share it with someone who takes history and survival seriously. This is not surface-level nostalgia. This is about knowledge that kept entire populations alive under rationing, bombing and supply collapse, and knowledge we are in real danger of losing again. If you study World War II agriculture closely enough, you begin to notice something unsettling. Farmers and civilians were not surviving on the vegetables we glorify today. They were relying on hardy, unfashionable crops that modern agriculture largely abandoned because they were ugly, slow-growing, or difficult to market. These vegetables were chosen not for taste trends, but for calories per square foot, cold-resistant storage life, and the ability to grow in poor soil under stress. If you're interested in real resilience rather than romantic survivalism, these are the crops worth revisiting. Let's get into them. Why did wartime farmers deliberately choose vegetables that, modern agriculture had mostly discarded? During the Second World War, European and British farmers faced fertilizer shortages, fuel rationing, loss of labour, and honestly, constant disruption to daily life. Crops really had to be reliable, self-seeding when possible, tolerant of neglect and useful in multiple forms, whether fresh, stored, fermented, or even fed to livestock. What survived that test? Well, it wasn't fashionable. It was practical. Jerusalem artichoke was grown because it survived neglect and, still produced calories. Jerusalem artichoke, or sunchoke, was widely grown because it required almost no care and produced enormous underground yields even in poor soil. It survived frost, drought, and partial shade, making it just ideal for disrupted farms. Rutabaga became a staple because it fed people when nothing else would. Rutabaga is, kind of infamous in wartime Germany and Scandinavia, but its reputation hides its value. It grows in cold weather, tolerates poor soil, and stores for months without refrigeration. Parsnips mattered because frost made them better, not worse. Parsnips were prized because cold weather converts their starches into sugars, improving flavour rather than destroying the crop. This made them ideal for overwintering. Kale replaced fragile greens because it survived bombing winters. Kale was not trendy, it was necessary. It survived freezing temperatures, regrew after partial damage, and produced leaves over long periods rather than all at once. Celeriac was grown because it stored like a root, but, flavoured like celery. Celeriac offered something rare, strong flavour without reliance on imported spices. It stored through winter and honestly added depth to otherwise bland rations. Kohlrabi thrived because it matured fast and tolerated disruption. Kohlrabi matured quickly and could be harvested young or left to grow larger without becoming useless. This flexibility really mattered during those unpredictable wartime labour schedules. Fava beans were grown to rebuild soil as much as to feed people. Fava beans fixed nitrogen back into exhausted soil and produced protein-rich food under cool conditions. Turnips mattered because they could be eaten at any stage of growth. Turnips provided edible roots and greens and could be harvested early or late depending on need. This adaptability made them, well, just invaluable. Mangold and chard survived because they refused to die easily. Swiss chard, often called mangold in wartime records, kept producing even after partial harvesting or damage. Farmers relied on it for steady vitamin intake. What these vegetables teach us about real resilience. The lesson here isn't nostalgia, it's selection pressure. These crops survived the worst agricultural stress test in modern history. If you care about food security, historical accuracy, or survival realism, ignoring them makes no sense. Start by planting one or two. Observe how little they demand compared to modern hybrids. That contrast is the point. If this kind of deep, practical history matters to you, subscribe to the channel, share this with another serious researcher or grower, and stay with us. The past still has work to do, and we're not done uncovering it.